much for being willing to listen to me today. I'm very excited to talk about the science behind Prysm.io and kind of walk you through a little bit of what Scott teased earlier. So I'm going to start with oxidative stress. This is the big, really underlying principle that we're targeting with Prysm.io, okay? Oxidative stress is essentially the damage that your body gets from a bunch of free radical damage every day. Trillions and trillions of hits every day. We have a little bit of control over that number, but we can't get rid of it. We can't get it down to zero, okay? So, where do those hits come from? Where does that oxidative stress come from? It comes from our lifestyle, primarily. It comes from our diet, okay? I want you to think about how you feel when you're under stress. Is it a good feeling? No. What if you're under chronic stress for months and months and months? Does your body suffer, right? There is an impact. That's because oxidative stress is occurring when you're under emotional stress, and this causes cellular damage in your body, and it builds up over time, right? What about if you don't get enough sleep, right? Maybe one night it's okay. I'm going on 2 nights of not quite enough, and I'm starting to feel it. And if I go a third, I'm really gonna feel it. And the longer you put that off, the more you deprive your body of what it needs, the more that damage accumulates. What about other lifestyle choices like smoking or alcohol intake, right? These also are big sources of oxidative stressors. The things that you choose to eat every day, maybe one of the biggest deciding factors, and we'll talk more about that in a little bit. And of course, there's some things we have a little bit less control over. I want to acknowledge this because you cannot get this number to zero, and that's okay, that's not our goal here. But you know, when we go outside and there's pollution and there's toxins in our environment and things like that, right? We try and limit our exposure, but it is what it is sometimes. Okay. So, went too fast. Okay, we already talked a little bit about the apple. I didn't want to spend too long on the slide, but I wanted to spend a little longer than a second. So, okay, so we talked about the apple. You cut it in half, it gets exposed to oxygen, it begins to oxidize, right? And that's what essentially is happening in our body when we get exposed to oxidative stressors. Now, what is nature's solution? Nature's solution to that is antioxidants. This is why the lemon juice works, because lemon juice is a source of vitamin C. It's a source of antioxidants, and so it has that protective effect. If you have a lot of oxidative stressors, a lot of free radicals in your body, those are unstable molecules. Their whole goal in life is to become stable, and they will do that by stealing electrons from anywhere they can get them, even if it wreaks havoc in your cells. And that's why they cause cellular damage. And that's why they're not really good for us. But antioxidants, their whole goal in life is to give you those electrons to the free radicals, right? They are there as the buffer, as that protector, so that you don't take the damage. They are there to protect you. So that's why antioxidants are important. Now, where do we get them? There are 2 main sources. The first is our body is capable of producing some antioxidants internally. This is good, right? You'll never be without any at all because your body produces things like glutathione. Now, how much of it produces goes back to those lifestyle factors. But the other main source of antioxidants, and this is the big one, is from our diet. So if you're eating processed foods every day, not a great source of antioxidants, right? You are depriving your body of really important nutrients that you need to thrive. If you're eating healthy fruits and vegetables, brightly colored foods that you find fresh in your supermarket, like those are the best sources of antioxidants in our diet. Fruits and vegetables. That's why they have this aura of health. It's why we're always told, you need to eat more of them, they're good for you. We don't ever really get into the why, but one of the big reasons why is because they provide these antioxidants. There are a lot of different kinds of antioxidants in our diet, but they work holistically throughout our body to support all kinds of different benefits, all kinds of different systems, right? Those free radicals, they don't pick and choose. They just go for whatever's nearest. And so when you have antioxidants at high enough levels throughout your body, you get benefits. You start seeing benefits with gut health. You start seeing benefits with immune health, with heart health, and eye health, and brain, and skin, and all of the different systems in your body. And in fact, a recent paper came out that actually showed that certain types of antioxidants are even correlated with healthy aging. Now that kind of checks out, right? If it's doing all of these things, you should see an impact long term. And it turns out you do. So in that study, they looked at phenotyping, and they looked at, at a genetic level, can you measure the impact? And they could, in fact, see a statistically significant improvement and correlation with healthy aging. We are no strangers to antioxidants at New Skin. So I have worked in the R&D department for just under 15 years. So some of this predates me, but we've been doing science in the antioxidant space for over 20 years. So this is important. Antioxidants are not new. They've been around as long as carrots are growing in the ground and we pick them up and eat them. But I think people still don't really understand their importance. And so even though we've been studying them for 20 years, there's a lot of education left to do. There's a lot of people left to teach to really understand their importance. So these papers that are shown here on the screen are all papers that our scientists have published over the years, specifically on a bunch of different types of antioxidants on a bunch of different areas of the body. This isn't even all of them, it's just the ones that I could find in 5 minutes. So, okay, I want to talk about one specific type of antioxidants today, and this is what the Prysm IO is actually measuring. It's a kind of antioxidant called carotenoids. Now, carotenoids are a type of antioxidant that are found in brightly colored fruits and vegetables, usually red, orange, and yellow ones. You get some green in there too, but primarily, so you have lycopene, which is red, is found in red food, so it's a great carotenoid to get if you eat a lot of tomatoes. You have lutein, which is found in things like spinach and kale. It's actually yellow, but it is found in green things. So the chlorophyll kind of covers up the yellow, but you're still getting a lot of lutein, so eat your spinach. You have beta-carotene. This one's best known for being in carrots, but it's also in other orange foods like sweet potatoes and mangoes and cantaloupe. Astaxanthin is one you might not have heard of before. This is a carotenoid that is primarily found in pink seafood, so like salmon. The salmon get it by eating red algae. I don't know about you, but I don't really like eating red algae, so I let the salmon eat it, and then I eat the salmon, and I get it too. And then the last one is zeaxanthin. So zeaxanthin is a lot like lutein. It's found in the same kinds of foods. It's yellow. These are the 5 most common dietary carotenoids that we get by eating fruits and vegetables and fish. They have 2 really cool things that I want to talk about that are important today. The first is that they have this really interesting chemical structure. And you don't need to know anything about chemistry, but you might notice that they all kind of look similar. And that chemical structure enables them to neutralize a lot of oxidative stress in our bodies. A lot. It has to do with the long middle bond or section in the middle, but essentially it can neutralize a ton of free radicals, and because of that, it is able to kind of act as a first line of defense in our bodies against oxidative stress. And so it's correlated with a lot of other kinds of antioxidants, because if you're eating lots of fruits and vegetables, you're getting a lot of carotenoids, they're providing that first line of defense, and it's sort of protecting the rest of your antioxidant network. Now, the second thing about carotenoids is that they are fat soluble. So what does that mean? That means that they dissolve in fat, but also means your body can absorb them and store them in your tissue for long term. And it can store them and then use them when you need them. So essentially, you have this reserve, and your body can call on it whenever we need it, and until then, It's stored in fatty tissues. It's stored in the macula of the eye. It's stored in your skin. And in fact, the carotenoids stored in your skin are what the Prysm IO measures. It's measuring skin carotenoids. Now, the gold standard of measuring carotenoids in the body is through blood. I don't love getting poked at the doctor. I'll do it if I have to. But if I have a choice, I'll choose the painless option if I can. So, in 2009, we helped run a study that looked at the correlation between skin carotenoids measured with the scanner and blood carotenoids. And we found that they were actually extremely closely correlated. And actually, skin carotenoids were an even better way to measure it because they were more stable, right? Your blood can go up and down a little bit depending on what you ate yesterday, but what's in your skin reflects the last 2 or 3 months of everything you've done. A cumulative score, if you will. And that makes it very unique. And the fact that we can measure it makes it even cooler. I guess one other thing that, and Scott mentioned this already, but carotenoids are an excellent predictor of fruit and vegetable intake. This is not surprising given what you just learned. Okay, so we've been gathering data on skin carotenoid levels in a global population for the last 20 years. We currently have a database of 21 million scans, and we can look at that database and we can analyze different subsets of it to see what changes your skin carotenoid score. What is correlated with low scores versus high scores? What lifestyle factors matter? So this is our average distribution. You can see most people are kind of skewed towards the lower half. This may match your own personal experience. I know when I first got scanned in, I think it was 2009, I was way at the bottom. So do not feel bad. That's a pretty common experience, I think. I have since made significant changes to my lifestyle. I'd say I'm way healthier than I was when I was 20, but I've made improvements and my score has gone up as a result. So let's look at what happens when you take someone who smokes, who is obese, who never eats fruits and vegetables, and who doesn't take a good multivitamin. This is your distribution. You have almost 90% in the lower 2 sections, in the red and orange. This is not great, but it's also not surprising, right? This is a population that has a lot of oxidative stress. They're making a lot of poor lifestyle choices, I would say. What happens if you change any of these variables? Let's look at a population like this, but take away the smoking. What happens when they're non-smokers? It starts to go up. What happens when they're a normal BMI? It goes up again. What if you add in fruits and vegetables into their diet? From less than 2, we'll go to 4 to 5 servings per day. Pretty reasonable, goes up again. What if you add in a multivitamin like Life Pack? Just once a day. We don't want to be too ambitious here. Goes up again. Okay, if we do want to be ambitious, we'll have to take it twice a day. We see it improve even more. So this is really illuminating, right? It shows us very small cumulative changes in our lifestyle. Choices that we make every day can make a big impact to this score and to our health. Basically 4 categories here, right? Our lifestyle choices that we're making that expose us or not to sources of oxidative stress. Our diet, how many fruits and vegetables we're eating every day. Our overall fitness or body composition, or however you want to term it, that's another one. And then the supplements we're taking. These are the 4 factors that we found when we analyzed this data. And that was just with the demographics that we collected. We're currently doing more studies on Prysm IO looking at even more demographics to see what other correlations we can find beyond these. So that database of 21 million scans is based off of the biophotonic scanner. And Scott already walked you through its evolution. I'm not going to spend a lot of time there. But the Prysm IO is really the culmination of these 20 years, past 20 plus years of research and development. The Prysm IO would not exist without the biophotonic scanner. It would not exist without the team of people that have been studying how this technology works, how they can adapt it, how they can improve it for the last 20 years. So you can't just pull this out of a hat. Now, I want to tell you a little bit about how the Prysm IO works. I know it looks like a hockey puck, and it does not function like a hockey puck. It is doing something, okay? So inside that hockey puck, you have 5 LEDs of various wavelengths, and they shine onto your skin. And those wavelengths, those LEDs, interact with your skin, and they bounce off of it. And if they hit a carotenoid in your skin, they act a certain way, depending on what the wavelength of the light was to begin with and what it ends at. We have 2 photodiodes in there that measure all of those crazy things that are happening to the light as it interacts with your skin. And all of that data interacts with our software, with the AI-driven algorithm, then to culminate in giving you your score. So there's a hardware piece, there's a software piece. Like any software, we can improve the software over time, but the hardware is pretty well tuned in to where it needs to be to function well. Okay, so most of you have gotten scanned, yes? Yes, okay. So you kind of have an idea of where you're at. Now, what do you do at this point to change where you're at, right? Because I don't know about you, but when I get scanned, I'm like, okay, how do I get better, right? It's fun to compete with your friend, it's fun to compete with your spouse, it's fun to make your kids compete with each other, but the thing I care about the most is where was I last month and where am I this month? Am I going the right direction? So I want to talk about building your antioxidant shield. There's 3 main sections to this shield. The first is in the products you're taking, right? If you take science-backed, high-quality supplements that are designed to support a Prysm IO score, your Prysm IO score will go up. This is why we guarantee very specific products from our portfolio. Things like LifePak and HLF Use and collagen. And I'll talk more about some of these in a minute if you're not familiar with them. But these Prysm IO certified products are the first layer of your shield. The second layer is products that are more unique to you. What are your specific concerns? What are your specific problems that you struggle with? Maybe it's poor sleep. Okay, add in a lifestyle product that supports sleep quality. Maybe you're stressed out all the time for whatever reason. Okay, try a product that helps address that stress and that helps you feel more calm. Whatever your lifestyle challenges are. So that's the second layer of your shield. And then the third layer is equally critical, and that is what you're actually doing, right? So you can't, people who are trying to lose weight always say you can't outrun the fork. Well, in this case, your Prysm IO score is also heavily dependent on what you're putting in your body, right? Fruits and vegetable intake is a huge part of your score. How active you are, and the amount of oxidative stress you're exposing yourselves to every day all play a role. So do not discount the impact your lifestyle has. I have seen firsthand, if I get sick, I see my score start to drop, and then I get better, and it starts to go back up, right? You see directly the impact that oxidative stress has on your score day to day, and more importantly, month to month. Okay, so I'll touch briefly on a few products in particular. The first is LifePak. Our LifePak family is our multivitamin line that provides vitamins, minerals, and phytonutrients, or plant-based nutrients, to really support your nutrition long term. So this is a great product to take if you're looking to fill nutritional gaps, if you're wanting to support optimal nutrition in your life, and it is Prysm certified. HLF Use is another one that's Prysm certified. This is maybe my favorite product. I know it's Kathy Schultz's favorite product. This is our product to support healthy aging. So essentially what it does is it targets gene expression related to how we age, and it supports healthy aging versus unhealthy. And I don't know about you, but most adults I talk to are like, yes, I want that. I want that. And I take it every day with my LifePak. And in my opinion, this is a really spectacular foundational combination. So, clinical study published, multiple clinical studies actually on age lock use. How many of you have tried Beauty Focus Collagen Plus? Yeah, I hear lots of great feedback. People love this product. It is specifically developed to support skin health from the inside out, right? People have a great skincare routine. Now they can add this in and get a great skincare routine on the inside. It supports healthy collagen production and elastin so that your skin looks really great. Clinical study published on this too, also Prysm certified. Mind 360. This is our product line specifically for cognitive health. And this is, it's 6 products actually, and one of them is Prysm certified and the rest of them are more the lifestyle. But, this line was specifically developed to enable people to really choose what they struggle with their cognitive health, and pick products that help support those areas. So stress and sleep and focus and memory. Sunlight. So I love going outside. I love feeling the warmth of the sun on my skin. But if you're outside for too long, the sun produces UV radiation, and that depletes the antioxidants in your skin. And over time, if you spend too much time in the sun, it starts to damage your skin. So I know this is very elementary, right? But if you're going to be outside more than 15 minutes, put on sunscreen, especially in the summer. Colostrum Defense. We'll give away some of this later, I think. But Colostrum Defense is is a brand new product that supports immune health. So it's a great combination of colostrum, standardized IgG, and a really unique postbiotic that has been clinically studied for immune health benefits. True Face Essence Ultra. This is the last one I want to mention. It's a skin product for your face. It has a huge following too. This is a great product to support elasticity and healthy aging in your skin from the outside. So it has a really potent blend of antioxidants to help support that purpose. Okay, I'm going to wrap up here. I think I've already gone over, but just to summarize, we do have extensive experience in this area of antioxidant science. We have a lot of experience with devices, and we have a lot of experience specifically, we've already started publishing studies on Prysm.io. So this year we presented a poster at the American Society of Nutrition on a study that looked at LifePak and Prysm.io, and we're continuing to do more research. As I speak, I'm getting emails every day about clinical study results that are coming in. So stay tuned for more details there. But I want to wrap up by challenging you. So I'm going to go back to that shield concept, right? You all know your score and what it is today. I want to challenge you to find 1 or 2 things that you can change in your life. Just small changes, right? Eating another serving of fruits and vegetables every day, or adding in a new product, or whatever it is, and seeing how that impacts your score in the next month or 2. Okay.